Hey, Live.
What's going on, Live?
Hey. Here we go. Again, Wednesday. Y'all know how we all feel about these Wednesdays. It's Tracy Allen living in my truth. Welcome everybody that's coming on. This is going to be a real heartfelt night tonight. Anybody that wants to chime in, send some real positive feedback is always welcome, as y'all do. Y'all know we be conversating like our butts off on this thing. That's what makes me love it so much. I have my nephew here, Nitty, okay, Frank Brewer, but they call him Nitty. He is coming on to talk about addiction and mourning, and the loss of both his parents. That was addicted to drugs. And he lost both parents, which his mom was my sister, Berlin. Frank called me and asked me, is it on?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Roxy.
What's up, Roxy?
Hey, girl. That's Roxy over at R&R's.
How you doing there, Roxy?
Roxy, this is my nephew. He's a photographer. It's called
Nitty Flicks.
Nitty Flicks. You've been seeing him lately, on Facebook and all. He does some good pictures, great pictures. We're going to be talking, he's going to share his story as a child of addiction, as well as, missing his parents, which his mom was my sister, Lena. So,
Child.
Say it again.
It's second child, right?
I don't hear our mics.
Yeah, they probably hear it on there.
Can you hear the mic, Roxy? Because we trying to step it up a little bit with the mics. Let me know if you can hear it. I'm trying to turn mine on every time. Some days it just pop right up on there. Pop. Then other times, man, I'll be strolling for a minute. But as you know, on Tracy Allen Living in My Truth, we always have great topics, and we always have, the people that come on and, hey, Trace, what's up, girlie? How you doing? They come on and share their strengths and hopes on, their truths, as they come on, because this show helps people. I get a whole lot of feedback for that, and I'm so grateful for that, because that's the purpose of it, to help people, help people,
Yeah.
As we all do well on this live, I'm just grateful. I'm really grateful for everybody who comes on and share their strengths and hopes, and, leave here saying to me that, man, I feel good. I got a lot out of that, but, most people that come on, got a little tingle. You know what I'm talking about, Rox? Get a little tingle, but once you get to rolling and seeing how beautiful the rest of the family is, that thing just get to flowing, and it gets to rowing, I had a few people tell me this weekend, how good the show is, and that they're watching, that they don't say anything, but they're watching. I appreciate all of you that is watching this show and enjoying this show, and I thank God that it is definitely working, for the ones who can get something from it and out of it, here we go. I'm going to wait for a few more people to come on. Hey, Stace. I've been missing you in the mornings, girl, because it's been some hectic mornings, but I most certainly will catch up with you. I try to come through sometimes and hit you just to let you know I love you, and, I ain't got you. nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, here's some hearts for y'all because I love you and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing for Tracy Allen Living in My Truth. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I got some, look, I'm working on ideas already for the LNMT Awards for next year. You know we got to, you know, I'll be there. You be on there. You'll be one of the honorees.
Yeah, and I'll be there taking pictures too.
Yeah,
you know?
Living in My Truth. You know, matter of fact, Nitty was my camera guy too. You know, I had like 4 paparazzis, but he was one of them. He was the one all on the floor, y'all, trying to be cool and shit with the camera, flipping over and shit.
You know,
and all that stuff. But when the results of the pictures came, they were awesome. They were real awesome. And he's really good at what he does. He found that, you know, that extra thing to love, you know, that gives him, you know, a sense of peace. You know, so just watch the replay, Queen. Oh, I did. I do. You know I do. You know what I mean? Definitely that, Stace. Yeah. Hey, is that Lachey Allen?
That's Tayana.
Hey, Tayana.
What's up, Niecey Poo?
Hey, niece. Love you. Yeah, you probably gonna have a lot of family on here tonight. You know what I mean? You know. Hey, yes, God. Yes, God.
That's my guy, man. You know.
When you coming? Because you know you next. You need to be on here. Yeah, I'm talking to you, yes, God. I'm not filming, but I need you to come on here and share some of that strength and hopes that you have, buddy. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, I appreciate him too, y'all. He was another one of my paparazzis at the LNMT Awards. And I saw my picture on your collage. Yes, God. Thanks for putting me on there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's a great man.
You know, and you did a wonderful job at the award show. You know, I was just gratefully honored, you know, that you came in. And he stepped up, y'all, and came in and did that show. And that's what I appreciate about, you know, about them. So did Nitty and so did...
Shout out to Yes God, man. He taught me a lot in the camera business.
Yeah. Yeah, hey Derek and Amanda, Storm Mixer T.
What's going on, bro?
How y'all doing? Thanks for coming on, popping on. We appreciate you. We got a good show for you tonight.
Guy Bullet, what's going on, man?
Yeah, some good information and education. And it's all real and authentic. Y'all know how we roll. It's real, it's authentic. Y'all know it takes a lot, you know, to come on here and share your stories, you know, and I appreciate it when you come on, because you know what, becoming clean, you know, and waking up to life, you know, because if y'all say, hey Ryan Bradley, how you doing?
That's my brother right there.
Yeah.
Ron Boy, right?
Wasn't that Ron Boy? Yeah.
Cousin Rodney.
Yeah.
Cousin Rodney.
It's tough, you know, to wear a mask and look like you this person, but on the inside is something else that's tearing you apart. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's hard to. Hey Wanda, Brandon.
That's Steve Wanda.
That's Brandon. Hey Brandon, you too. I want you on here too. You can sit with us. You know what I mean? You know, and to see young people come on, you know, and share their lives as a child that lived with addiction. You know what I mean? Like Frank and them, they had it all the way around. It was a couple of us in the family that, you know, dealt with addictive lifestyles, you know, and they were the children of it, you know. And today, it's like, yes, it takes that courage, girl, because you sure enough came on, honey, and put your thing down, you know. But, you know, it takes a lot to do this, you know. And I don't mean just to be sitting in front of a camera. It takes a lot to do it for self, you know what I mean, to come to that decision and that choice and say that, you know, this is what I need to do now. You know, I realize that I need to find somebody who I can trust in enough. You know what I'm saying? Say it again, to talk to. You know what I mean? And this is my nephew. He's been around me all his life. You know what I mean? But like me, when I got high, you follow. When I was ready to stop is when I was ready to stop. Same with my nephew. He's ready to, share, his heartfelt feelings. And it can cause, hey Anya and Rachel, Veneer, hey y'all, when somebody is really hurting inside, and just don't have, and just don't have the strength and the power, a power within their self to say, you know what, I gotta let people know, what's happening to me, and trust in feedback. So, he's open for some feedback, you know what I mean? Y'all know how we do, and we're gonna trust in our higher power, and listen to what he's saying, and give back some positive feedback, on this situation. I'm quite sure it's going to help other people because we've been here before, you know what I mean? And it seems to catch a lot of people's attention, and this is another part of Tracy Allen, Living in My Truth, that comes into mental health, depression, you know what I mean, and all these things. So some people don't realize that they have depression. You know what I mean? And depression is dangerous.
Comes in all different forms.
It comes in all different forms, shapes, and sizes. You're absolutely right. You know what I mean? And sometimes, that voice can make you not understand, and take completely over. And, and then some things can happen. We've experienced a lot of that as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give this to Frank and let Frank share, with what he chooses to share, for tonight.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? As she said, I'm Frank, Nitty Flicks for some. Y'all can book me whenever y'all need me. I'm always there around. But like she said, I was going to share my story from when I was younger, seeing my mom, I never really see her do any really hard drugs, but hearing about it and actually seeing her smoking and hurting in silence and seeing what she was going through, it was a lot growing up. So it's like seeing her go through those problems growing up, it hurt me because it's like, what can I do to try to help her, or what can I do to try to help the situation out, or try to be there for her more, or be there for my sister more, or something like that, anything like that. So seeing that growing up, it's like, everybody experienced it. We laugh at it, make fun of it, but we all experienced it, having to go upstairs when our aunts and uncles and our mothers had parties. We know they downstairs smoking, know they downstairs drinking, they downstairs doing what they doing to have fun, basically like how we do now, So it's like a recurrent cycle of what was going on. So by me seeing that, it was like learned behavior. I knew that she was hurting, and that was the only way to get her pain away, was to really do stuff like that, until I saw her really give it up. And it was amazing the way she just flat out just gave up smoking and drinking and just doing stuff. It was amazing how she gave it up. But seeing her hurt, seeing her go through stuff like that, it was hurting me a lot, because I'm like a person that always want to see somebody smile. I always want to be happy. I always want to, they say the most addictive drug is fun. So it's like, if you're not having fun doing anything, it's like, anything. If you're not having fun, you want to go home. If you're not doing anything, if it's not fun, then nobody really want to do nothing unless you're really having fun. So feel as though her fun was hurting, her fun was pain, and she was trying to lapse it and cover it up with marijuana and, doing what she was doing. So it really hurt me seeing it, and it really, I stayed silent about it, but talked about it a little bit, but I stayed silent about it because it was like, it's my mom. She always showed me how to be, had to be stronger from it. It's like, she had to show us what strength was. She had to try to be the person who showed us what wisdom was, had to show us what basically hurting was, but still hide it and mask it without really showing it a lot. So I really learned that from her. So growing up is stuck with me to really, I'm gonna say, not really talk, but to really hold things in and just keep going. Her favorite phrase was, the beat keep going. No matter what's going on, the beat gonna keep going. It's never gonna stop. So you have to keep going on with the beat. So a lot of stuff I just let bypass, held in, and just let it just build up sometimes where it just get overwhelmed. Like I never cried when she passed away. Like not one time have I cried when she passed away. I cried when I first found out she had cancer. But when she passed away, I never cried. I had to be strong for really my little sister because of I know how emotional she could get. Like we all know how emotional she could get our family. So more so like I had to really stay really like strong for her. Really like little do my brothers know I had to stay strong for them. Like my mom knew all her kids. She knew how we all was. So she know like before she passed away, I never really told nobody. She told me, stay strong for your kids. Stay strong for your brothers and them because they're not gonna be able to handle it when I go, but you'll be able to handle it better. I don't know. I didn't know what she meant by that, like at all. Never knew what she meant by that. So by me growing up after she passed and seeing like some of the stuff she meant, like I could be on the phone, we could be talking about Doritos, and my mom would come out of nowhere, and I have to listen to stories about my mom, or you know what I mean, hear stuff about stuff going on. So it's like, regardless of what's going on, I'm always listening more so than talking about it. So it's like keeping it inside, it hurt a whole lot because it's like you never really sorry.
Go ahead, you're fine.
You never really
you're fine.
Never really get a chance to like everybody more different. You never really get a chance to really like you're not really mourning the death, you're mourning the memories because you know that they're not gonna be here no more. So you actually really like thinking about the future of like not having them. So it's like you're starting a whole new life all over again. It's just you have to be your parent.
Be without them.
Now you have to be your parent of what they taught you and just put it into your life now. So a lot of stuff that she taught me, I did put into my life, but I also neglected because I was still looking for her advice. Like, if you know what I mean. Like,
I do.
Like,
I do.
Like everything that she was teaching me, it feels as though that I still need to be taught. Like I still needed to be taught more. Like it's like I don't know how to really put it into words, but it's like I still needed her. Like you still think like even if I didn't need her, you still really think you still need her. Like you know, like your father, anybody that passed away, you still need them because of advice that they have, just because of wisdom that they have, just because of even their presence around you, like anything around you, anything, like you still need them. So like holidays, I don't like going around a lot of people for holidays because I hate hearing the word mom during holidays. Like sometimes it hurt. Like you going around there, you see everybody playing with their mom, you see everybody having fun, doing stuff like that, and you just sitting there. Like of course you could blend in, you could go in, you could do what you want to do, but you just sit there. Like then you have to think about, oh yeah, I remember my mom did this, or then you have to bring up memories. Yeah, you have to bring up memories of stuff, like fun memories. You have good memories, bad memories, you know, all types of memories. You start finding out stuff that they did, and you like, what? Like you feel me? All types of stuff. So the only thing you could talk about is memories, but it's building more memories that's really killing you on the inside. So it's like if you don't learn how to, it ain't learning how to live with it, but it's learning how to move forward without it. So if you don't really learn how to move forward without it, you're really going to be stuck and stagnant. So like the death of my mom is really like, I did get stagnant a little bit because like I lost relationships. I done argued with family. I done argued with friends, like not deep arguments where it was like physical fights or, you know, hatred and all like that. But it's like sometimes some of the same patterns keep going on, and it could be help, but you're not looking at it as help. You're looking at it as, well, you just think my mom said it, or not worry about that, or, you know, anything like that. So
it's hard to let her go. Yeah,
it's really hard to let her go, but at the end of the day, that's what death is. Death is to let go. Like, even though it's like, it's hard and people just don't think it really is to let go. Like, you can't hold on to something that's not there. Like, once you take one step, you can't backtrack. Once you take a breath, you can't take that breath back. So anything that's there, a lot of things you have to let go. So, being as though, like I said, we still look forward to the memories and still think that we didn't have the right time with them. But in all actuality, like, spiritually, you know, God took that person away at the right time when they needed to be taken away. Like maybe he already knew that with my mom not being here, it would bring us closer, like, you know, family, brothers, sisters. Like, not saying that he had to, but just saying that that right there might have been the next step in life. Like, nobody's going to be here forever, so you have to really think about that and really understand that a lot of people, like, nobody's going to be here forever. Like, death is the only thing that's inevitable in this world. You can get rid of anything else, but death is the only thing that's inevitable in this world that you can really, that we really grieve from, that I feel as though we shouldn't. So I just feel as though that, like, losing her was like it kept me stagnant for a minute, and it kept me to a place that I didn't really want to be at. So, like, I still smiled. I still was like grinning, cracking jokes, doing what I needed to do, everything like that. So it was like hiding it under like a mask, but I still was trying to deal with it in my own way. So it was like instead of getting help, I was turning help away sometimes. And getting older, I realized that, like, I lost my mom when I was 23. So getting older, I realized that 25, I might have turned this person away. You know, when I moved back home, I might have been too distant where I should have been around family more than when I wasn't. So it's
so you closed up.
Yeah, I closed up a whole lot. So just untwisting that cap and just letting everything out now, and it's just like, it feel good. You know what I mean? Like I can say the past couple years, I've just been like, just letting things out. Like I've been trying to become more open, which is kind of, you know, I ain't gonna say it's easy. It's kind of hard to try to become more open. I've been trying to change my attitude a little bit, been trying to do a little things, but I still feel myself going back to where I was at because I wasn't talking. So it's like once I'm thinking I'm opening up, it's like, well, forget about it.
You're
like,
shut down.
Shut right back down. And sometimes that's not the right thing to do. It's not to shut down. Sometimes you have to talk to people, like, because you can vent about the right things to the wrong person.
That's a fact. That's true.
And I did that. I did that a lot. Like, felt as though that I was venting and thinking that I was doing the right thing, but it really wasn't. And some, like I said, you can say the right things to the wrong person, where the person might be like, well, you might think they listening, but they give you the wrong answer. And you think that's like, all right, now you shut down even more because you're like, that person don't even want to listen to me. But in all actuality, you might not even need to vent it to that person. You might have needed to talk to, like, I might need to talk to you instead of talking to somebody else that I don't, you know what I mean, that I thought might have been able to listen. So it's a lot that, like, goes on with shutting down.
You know what? Some people is judgmental about that. You know what I mean? You know, like, some people think that, you know, a person uses that.
Yeah.
You know, for a shield if they doing something else. You know, like say you in a situation and you're dealing with something and, you know, you shut down and you go into the fact of, you know, I'm just going through something. You know, I'm still, you know, hurt from my mom. People think that you use that, but, you know, nobody can tell anybody how to mourn. We talk about this at times, you know, that we have these type of topics on this show. You know what I mean? And, you know, it for me, you know, when I used to come up, I used to lie all the time. You know what I mean? To my peeps, I used to lie all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'll use certain things just to get through. You know, but, you know, when you grow up and you become more, you lose your parent as a child. You know what I'm saying? And you and that parent was so tight because his parent is my sister. You know, and my sister was one of the loving, funnest person that you can actually be, you know, and she loved her children. You know what I'm saying? Unconditionally. And he was like the baby boy. You know what I'm saying? And so used to being up under.
Yeah, the miracle baby.
You know, his mom. But people can be judgmental, you know, and feel like, you know, oh, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Don't nobody want to hear that. You know what I mean? You know what you're doing. You know, well, I mean, sometimes that could be a hurt piece. You could be hurting the person worse because the person is trying to be honest, but you know, the mourning of death and your loved one, you know, you'll draw back from something, you know, people and shut down. I did the same thing with Salim. You know what I mean? When I didn't want to be bothered, I shut myself off. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't talk about it. You know what I mean? I didn't talk about him either. So I definitely know what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to hear everybody's opinions and what they had to say, you know, and now that years went by, you know, people forget. People don't think what you're feeling.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
Feelings don't never go away, like at all. And another thing people do, like you were saying, judgmental. Like you're a different person to everybody. So everybody a different person. Like you said, to you it was like my mom. To me, she was strong, independent, of course, fun and loving. And somebody else, she could have been a person who talked too much. Somebody else, she could have been a person who sing too much. You know what I mean? Or a person who do something too much. So to everybody, you're something different. So just being around that person, just trusting somebody is hard to really trust certain people to do certain things, because somebody can act like they have your back and really don't. And it could mess you up, like mentally and physically. Like it could just mess you up all the way around, because you might have really put your heart into that person or put your soul into that person, to the fact where it's just once one mistake comes, it's like the worst thing that ever happened in the world. So now you're pushing that person away when mistakes happen sometimes, you know, like, so it's a lot that goes on with trusting people and stuff like that. You just have to have the power to forgive and everything.
What is trust to you? Like
trust.
What is trust? Do you like, what do you look for when you look for trust?
Trust is really like, I was raised to like do things that others you want done to yourself. So if I feel as though if you like, if anything that you do to me is like, not I'm gonna do to you as well, but it's like, if you, like, some people, like you said, they can hide their mask. Some people can hide fake. They can be fake behind anything, do stuff like that. But you could tell if someone is genuinely there for you, because you could tell by the smile, you could tell by conversations, you could tell by everything. So trust is really, to me, it's just about really like, I don't know if this is a word, but genuality. I don't know if that's a word, but
I make them up too, so I'm on you.
I'm making it up myself, you feel me?
I'm making them up like
of course. I'm gonna make up a word real quick.
You don't understand me.
You know, yeah, so I don't know if genuality is a word, but you know, look it up and make sure like that, right? But yeah, it's like, for being real genuine, like you could like people are like, some people could step in, like I said, I was looking for like my mother's love. Like
that's what I was getting ready to ask you. Is it like, do you look for, you know, what Lena gave you through women?
So I did.
The girlfriends, or you know, through people. Is it
before
like,
I did that, and I could say within like the last, like I could say like 3 years. I could say like the last 3, maybe 2.5 years, 2 years, I stopped, because it was more so like I know it's not going to be there, but it's like her trust was the trust that I was looking for.
You trust your mom.
Yes.
Your mom trusts you.
And that was the trust of the love and the trust that I was looking for. When I know nobody's going to trust and love you and be loyal to you like your parents is. You know, so it's like I was looking for that, you know, that understanding from people. I was looking for that compassion from people. I was looking for certain things from people that I wasn't getting. So I felt as though that they really wasn't like in my corner, really wasn't there for me, when in all actuality they was, but they was just there in a different sense of what I needed.
In a different way.
Yeah.
So what did you feel like you wasn't like I'm only questioning.
Yeah, just cause
you know, you feel like you wasn't getting enough attention.
It wasn't attention.
Actors,
nah,
like you know, because your mom gave you a lot of attention.
A lot of attention.
You know what I mean? So I'm using attention
like
so that I can
like
try to, you know, be in your head, be where you are. You know.
No, it wasn't the attention at all. It was more so the
love attention.
Yeah, the love and the understanding.
Love,
like,
maybe I say that. Love attention.
Because me, like, how my mom raised us, it was more so like I say, the beat goes on, but we understood like what everything was. Like, she didn't really have to yell at us too. Like, she did, but she didn't really have to yell at us. She didn't really have to do.
I just turned that down.
She didn't really have to do too much, because it's like once she explained something to us and we understood it, that's what it was. Like, we understood what she was saying. We understood that, and nothing got pushed under the rug. Like, it's like she understood, like, okay, like you said, everybody understands their children, so she understood that, like, everyone's personality is different, so you have to be able to understand everybody's personality, and that's how I look at things. Like, I still look at it that way, so that's how I look at trust. Like, you should be able to understand that everyone is different, so you might want to talk about something as soon as it happens. Some people might not be like that, so you can't force that on somebody to do that, and I felt as though that I was forcing how I am onto other people, and it wasn't always good. Like, sometimes you have to be able to give in, just so that way, you know what I mean, to keep peace with other people. Sometimes you have to be able to give in, and you have to be able to understand other people, so that way you can grow in the world, really. Because if you don't, you're just going to stay stagnant and stay closed in, because then you get selfish. And then that selfishness turned into a very bad attitude, because now you feel as though you're entitled, and then you feel as though that they have to do this or you have to be this way. And then if it don't, now you're just sitting there looking like a dummy. You know what I mean? So it's like understanding everybody. So that's what I was looking for. And I had to realize that it ain't up to them to understand everything. It's up to me to understand. And it's up to me to accept anything that's going on around me. I have to understand and adapt to what's going on around me so that way I can keep growing in the world and not stand still at where I'm at. So that's really what I look for, was looking for, in the last couple years. But before that, it was, tough because it was like, well, if you don't want to do it, then forget about it. I don't care. It'd be like that. So I had to really get out of that attitude and, try to work towards it.
So you're still working on it?
I'm still working on it now. I'm not I'm not a complete circle and I'm not perfect. So I'm still working on it now and still working on what I really need to work on and try to become basically what I was when I was growing up, I having fun.
A happy kid.
Yeah, a happy kid again. Because that's basically all it is being a happy kid again. That's all basically I'm looking for again. Not really to be the kid part, just to be happy as well.
Because you was a happy kid.
Yeah.
Watching you be, growing up and everything. But I've also seen when your mom passed, how you left yourself.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's as still being a young man. And death takes a lot. It takes that from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it really had me depressed when I lost Salim. And then when that happened, we lost your mom. Then we lost my godson. Then we lost Aline. Then we lost Salim. Then we lost Gramps. And then we lost Aunt Katharina, and Ernestine was first before your mom. And watching your mom, she was such a courageous, I tell you, my sister she was the one. You hear me? She was so strong, so funny, so crazy. You know what I mean? And she hustled. She did what she had to do for survival. And y'all talking about life be life, and my sister was living in life. And,
yes, it was.
And
she was life.
Yeah, and for that to the cancer to come along, it hurt everybody.
It
was crazy because we had no idea. It was crazy.
And a lot of people don't know, in the family, a lot of people don't know that when she was working at the courthouse, she collapsed there. A lot of people don't know that she collapsed right there in the courthouse.
At the courthouse?
At the courthouse. And her excuse was for her trying to be strong for us was the doctor said that my potassium low and I have to drink Gatorade. Then I'm like, Mom, Gatorade bring electrolytes. They don't bring potassium. So that's when I knew it was something wrong. And Uncle Hank came and got me from school. She didn't want him to go to the doctors with her. So he dropped her off. He came and got me. Then I had to go pick her up.
So you saying she knew?
I think she knew,
but she knew. But it's a question in your head.
It's a question.
It's a question in all of us.
Because
in my head as well.
It's once that happened, you could tell something that was going on. Then her stomach started hurting more. That's when everything started really happening. Then she moved down south, and then not even a couple years down south, she collapsed again. And then once she collapsed again, now you got stage 4 cancer. So then it was dang, Mom, how did it go from just stage 4 so quick? You knew what was going on, but I feel as though that you kept it from the kids and the family because, she always wanted to be strong. She never really wanted to tell somebody.
Your mother, look.
Never wanted to tell somebody when she
was down. She was like that all of my life.
Yep.
Of being her little sister. My sister was, she inspired and impressed me so much as strong as a person that she was. You know what I mean? I've mocked a lot from her. And she'll tell you like it is, and she could look, she could deal with whatever. You know what I mean? And you talk about a strong woman. She was a strong woman. Till the end of her time. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
at the end of her day, she was still trying to.
So from where you was then, until you where you are now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you talk about death, you talk about the loved one. For me, you know what I mean? Sometimes I can just be doing nothing and think about my son and just bust out crying, uncontrollable, and I can't stop it. So I don't try to do that anymore. But as a man, men cry.
Yeah, of course.
You have emotions. God bless us all with that. And there's nothing wrong with showing your emotions. Yeah. And a long time since your mom has passed, you just wouldn't cry. You didn't
I
show
just
any
never
type
cried,
of like
yeah.
emotions from it, but your pain.
Yeah, the pain is always there. I just
The
haven't showed
pain
any
was
emotions.
aggressive. It was crazy.
Very aggressive.
You know what I mean? And it to me, it's like, you know, even in addiction, you know what I'm saying? It's just a voice that comes up there and won't allow you to feel. It won't allow you to express. It allow you to wear masks. You know what I mean? It allow you to be so angry, you know, that the mask becomes stagnated.
Yep.
You know, that's what it did to me.
Yep. And
you
just
know,
became
and
used to that, and that's like a norm for you. Like that just was a norm. Like me holding stuff in was just a norm. Like
I've
walking
never
around
seen you
just-
cry about that.
Yeah, I boo-hoo cried when I first found out she had cancer. I went in her room, I had to go buy clothes and stuff like that from Walmart, get her chargers, you know, stuff that's necessities to take to the hospital. But I actually, like, I was boo-hoo crying, like, please don't take my mom away. And then taking her to chemo every day, and then, like, you know, like, well, every other week I had to take her to chemo, and then seeing her 1 week.
While you were in down there?
Yeah, I took her to chemo, like, every other week I took her to chemo. So it's like I'm sitting in chemo for 3-4 hours with her while she in there, and I'm seeing her get that tube stuck inside her joint, and she feeling a whole lot of pain, and then she in there, like, the energy's just going, and you know, like you said, my mom, she was 1 week she a ball of energy, we having fun, going out to eat, we doing stuff, and then the next week she like, it's like she was just an invalid, like she just couldn't do nothing, and it was like, that was like I never talked about that, but that was like a lot, because it's like, I'm used to laughing, joking, doing this,
She
doing
was
that,
just
and
vibrant,
she was just
very vibrant.
And when all of us started getting taken away, it was just like a dang, like
reality setting.
Yeah, it's setting in, and then I'm watching her deteriorate. So it's like I'm watching her get a little skinny, but then get a little bit of weight, and then I'm watching her doing stuff, and I'm actually seeing it like through the chemo. Like she kept saying she wasn't gonna lose her hair. She didn't lose her hair. That's one thing she didn't do. I don't know how she didn't. But she didn't lose her hair.
And
but,
you know she was crazy,
about her hair. I don't know how she did it.
She was a hairstylist.
Listen, I don't know how she did it, but she didn't lose her hair.
And I let my sister do to me was one time with Jerry Curls.
That's a lie.
When Jerry Curls was out, she was a beast with Jerry Curls.
She gave you one
talking all that, you know, where the hair particle goes to the implementable, all kinds of words and stuff.
45 and all that. I don't know what she was talking about, but she never lost her hair.
She was funny as heck.
That's one thing she did was kept her hair, but that was like.
Yeah, but to watch that vibrant person just go. You know, like it was different from when we lost. It was kind of like for me when I was losing my mom. Yeah. Gramps, you know what I mean? I couldn't watch that. And when it came to a certain, I just couldn't do it. My nerves
just couldn't.
Of how much I'm so much like my sister Lena. You know, I just couldn't do that. It bothered me really bad to watch it. So I mean, you were brave to do that. Honestly,
it was
very
hurtful. Like and Chanel, like I can't say like it was. At first, it was like by myself. I was doing it a whole lot. Like I thought I just thought well, of course I didn't think, but I know I had to be there because of course it was just me and her. But then when Chanel was like came back from Atlanta, when she was doing her music thing, came back, she was a real big help. Like of course the only daughter, she was there a lot. They was doing a lot together. But
and can sing. Yeah, when I tell you, she sing just like her mother.
Could sing her
Believe me, it used to be funny when they used to be having them singing debates. Like Charnel want to do it this way, and Lean said no. It's
all types of things. Can't do it. She on stage singing. My mom would be like, "Go this way, no, go this way."
She was just that mama that wanted, you know, the best for her, especially with that singing, because ain't none of y'all sing. Yeah. But Nell can sing, though.
Bial can sing. Bial can sing. I mean, I guess I'm good to be in the choir. Yeah. You know, but other than that, though, it's over. But yeah, just watching that and Chanel coming up, you know, helping out a little bit after that, it was like a big ease on me, but it was still like I felt as though I still had to be strong for her now, like for both of them now, but like me and my mom used to always talk, like she always said, you have to be the strongest out of everybody. I don't know if she told all her kids that, but I know she told me that. You have to be the strongest because I know you'll be able to handle it better than everyone else will, and I see it. Like, I really see it. Like, Derek is, my oldest brother, Derek, he is very, very strong. Like, super strong when it comes to it. And Bial is strong as well. Because he dealt with a lot in that little time frame of losing his fiance. And then,
that was rough. Yeah.
So it was like, it was you know, I mean, he's strong as well, but just seeing how they was, like, when we heard about the story, like, as soon as we heard it, our Cheryl called us and told us to come up there. Like, him and Chanel, I was just talking to Chanel last night about it. Like, he snapped on her, like, Chanel, chill, because she was crying, like, not snapping, but, like, chill, because he didn't want to cry. But you heard it from that point on, and clicked, like, this is what my mom meant. Like, be strong for them, because this is what she meant. Like, when I told her, like, the day we found out she had cancer, me and Derek was inside of the hospital room. And when she collapsed, we went there or whatever, we was there. Of course, we having fun, and, you know, I'm making fun, you know, having fun, we talking about my mom like we always do. When the doctor walked in, the first thing the doctor said was, you know, can you get off the phones? We have some, you know, news or whatever it is. Like, we found cancer, but we hoping that it's gallstones. First thing my mom did was look at us like, dang, like, they found out. Like, that's how her look was. And then Derek looked like, I know your mom. Like, she knew something. And that's how Derek was. My mom got up and said, can I go to the bathroom? She walked to the bathroom. She was in there for like 10 minutes. So I knew she was crying. Like, she came back out, eyes bloodshot red. But she still, like, that was like, that made me break down something, because it was like, through all that, she still was trying to be strong. Like, so it made me look at it like, how can I, like, I can't backpedal from this. Like, I have to be there for her no matter what. So that made me, like, it just clicked something in me to make me be like, no matter what, I gotta, like, you know, try to sacrifice for us. And it's just like, when she passed away, I could actually say, like, I did feel as though I didn't sacrifice enough, but it had to really kick in that I couldn't be the one to save her. Like, you know what I mean? So that really was the one that kicked in a lot, because, like I said, seeing her go through chemo, seeing her go through everything.
So sorry, y'all. We lost connection somehow. I hope everybody can reconnect. Back on. We'll give you a few minutes. Thanks, Stacy. Yeah, we had some kind of connection that it disconnected. Sorry about that. You know, I don't know. Hey, Frank. You watching, huh?
Yeah, I had to turn it back on. Sure.
So I have to redo this again, right? Find a new one.
Go to your page. Like, click on your profile page.
Okay. Right here.
Yeah. And just press that.
Oh, that's easy. Hey, y'all. Sorry that went off. It was some kind of disconnection. We don't know how it happened. It just went off. But, you know, sometimes that thing happened for me. I don't know how. But we're going to give everybody a chance to come back on. You know, give Frank a little minute. You know, I mean, he's, you know, Frank is saying some things that I never even knew that was going on. And the devil is a liar, Stacy. I agree, absolutely.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
I'm going to go back through when everybody, you know, pops back on and go through some of the, you know, comments that people are making, you know, that can, you know, probably be some good to Frank as well. You know, I'm proud of you, nephew. You know, I'm proud of you because, you know, it takes a lot to do what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I hope that it can help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As we go through with this. You know, we got plenty time, you know what I'm saying, to continue, you know, and you talk and speak whatever you choose to. Move over a little bit. Yeah, so Danielle is sending hearts a lot.
You got that right. There it goes.
It came back in this time, y'all, but I don't know what's really happening. Remember, I did this before, so I really don't have any control of what's happening, you know, until it's just a bump up on some more better technology. It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
You know what I mean? It's coming.
It'll be here.
Yeah. So I hope, you know, people will catch it and come back on. You know, it was going so great. You know, the comments, I saw everybody that was coming on. Hey, Donna, thank you. Sorry for all this was happening. Stacy said, I'm so proud of you, young king, for sharing your story.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, I'm
Hey,
here for
Nelly.
that. So hopefully this right here could, you know, inspire other men and stuff to come out and talk a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that's what that do.
Now I'm freaking phone and got stuff. It must be the frequency out here right now because of those clouds or whatever.
Yeah, it could
What's going on out there? I don't know what has caused all of this. See, it's stuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know why.
I have no idea. You can't even almost get me to figure that out. But yeah, people are starting to come back on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, let me go to this. Hold on.
I say you go to the press the joint.
People, let me do it this way.
Yeah.
Because it'll be on here. There you go. No viewers yet, it's saying. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. People are starting to come back on now. Danielle saying, I'm proud of you, cousin.
I love you too,
You know,
love you too. Thank you, cuz.
Danielle said, I do miss my aunt, especially her smile. Yeah, she was funny as I don't know what. You know, we all miss her.
That was my baby. She's telling you how it is and then crack a joke right afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That was just her.
Yeah, Charnel, I hope you're on. Derek, I hope you guys are on or coming on. You know, as well as Vanell. Hey, cousin. What's up? Anita. I saw your beautiful pictures, you and your husband's beautiful pictures. They were really beautiful. We're on here. This is Lena's son. And he's sharing some things about the depression that he's been under. You know, thank you everybody for popping back on and coming back on and supporting this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I know, cause Ronnie, I know it was rough. You know, I know like you had a great relationship with my mom. You know, I still got that card that you gave, like with all the choir on there, with her on there and stuff like that. I still got that little card and everything. So. Yeah, I know for sure that you probably was feeling it the same way that we was as well.
Y'all, I apologize. We don't know what happened. It just was going out, you know, and we had to restart it over. You know, we couldn't get it back on. So I'm glad everybody is popping back on again. You know, Stacy Love said, nor too many African American men open up. Not too many African American men not open up and share emotions like this. Thank you for your vulnerability. And that's true. You know, men think that you know, you can't cry. You know, you can't show emotions. You know, but you're human, and God gave all of us that. You know, it's how, you know, men made that myth. You know, that if a man cries, he's not a man. Well, that's totally untrue. You know what I mean? And to bundle it up, you know, to hold pain causes a lot of mental, emotional states. Yeah. You know, that connects right into depression. You know, Denise Matthews said, hey, Niecy, said she was such a ball of joy. You know, I have so much fun memories of her. You know, they grew up with us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Niecy, Candy, all of them, you know, we was all like family. They were all very tight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Very so tight. She...
There'd be people I walk past now, and they be like, Lena, your mom? I'm like, yeah, they're like, you was the baby? Like, yeah, and they all get all happy and stuff. I don't even know who they are sometimes. I just be like, yeah, yeah, that was me.
Your mother will never be forgotten.
Yeah,
she was one of those kinds. She would never be forgotten. Anybody that had any type of history with her, understanding with her, will always remember her. Yeah. Her name and legacy will always go on. Yeah. You know, and be missed. You know, and her singing.
Yeah, her singing.
You know what I mean? She, that was her connect with God.
And her last time singing, like right now, I still can't listen really to Gladys Knight. Like it was hard
for me to listen to her and Charnel sing it together.
And that was the last time she sung it.
Baby girl was just, trying to make her mom happy and all of that, and it. I watched it. Yeah. It was too painful.
They sat in the room a lot and they
Mm-hmm.
sung a lot. Like when my mom was like when her caught me on her like dying, her last days. I'm gonna say they sung a lot on like inside of that room right there. And that was the night she went out with. I don't know. Did all y'all go out that night? I want to say the sisters went out, and she was on her way back in. I think from like Tom Jones or something, and she ended up falling outside. And she kept saying, "Oh, she slipped on the ice," or it was the ice. And I knew it. Like me personally, I still don't think it was the ice. I really think that it was like her body, because they had that weakness. Yeah, because they was holding her while she was walking, and then she was collapsed a little bit. So
that was us.
Yeah, that was y'all.
Yeah, and she was laughing, and we laughed a little bit, but we knew what it.
And she came in and she sung Midnight's Train to Georgia with Chanel, and then right after that, she said she wanted to go up her sister's house, and then a couple of days after that, that's when she passed away, because it was around New Year's. And she went up there, but that time right there was the last time she actually was like sitting up and was singing. Like she sung with us on her deathbed. Like the last thing she kept doing was telling everybody, like she kept looking to the window saying, "Hold on, hold on." She kept looking to the side saying, "Hold on." Then she'd turn around, grab her hands a little bit, and she just started singing with Chanel the whole time. And it was heartfelt because she was still trying to show how strong she was.
Oh yeah. To the end, yes.
And that's the thing that gave me a lot, is her strength and the ability to still try to be a mother even on her dying days. Like, and it just was a lot. It was a lot. That right there was a lot to see right then and there. Like,
I know it was.
Yeah, like that day I couldn't.
It blew my mind. You know what I mean? I couldn't look at my sister.
And that day, and the day my aunt Cheryl told us to come up there, I couldn't. They wanted to clean her up. I couldn't go in there and clean her up. Like I think I went in there probably for 10 minutes at the most when my mom was like up there, and then I just left back out, and I was just like downstairs just greeting everybody because, like I said, I couldn't really see my mom that way. Like, and then,
I couldn't either.
And then it was it was a whole lot that was going on, like that she was that just kept playing back in my head. And then I was remembering the night before when we was up there, and then I just wanted to just remember her smiling, and that right there was like the last memory I wanted to see of her. So I really couldn't be up there to wash her off. Like that wasn't something that I couldn't do. Like I could not do that at all. Actually, shout out to Danielle. She actually did it. Her and Samir and Chanel actually cleaned her off. So Danielle actually went in there and cleaned my mom off for everybody. So shout out to cousin Danielle for doing that. I remember that like it was yesterday. But yeah, I really couldn't see her in that state like at all, especially seeing how from me seeing her from before chemo to chemo to during chemo to after chemo, and then hearing like, well, there's nothing else we could do for her, but she still wanted to go to chemo. Like the doctor said, there's nothing we help. Like the chemo's not working, so I don't think there's nothing else we could do. She still went to chemo for. I guess she thought that it might have like caught up or something like that, but she still was trying to go and still trying to fight to the very end, and that was like that was something that really like it stayed with me too, because it's like if she could be strong, why can't I? Like so it was like one of them things, and it was just a hurtful experience just to really see and a lot of people ask me like, how did you mourn when your mom was gone? Like, I mean, I'm still mourning now. Like, you never really get over the fact of a parent losing a parent, because the parent's like it's never there anymore. Like I can't, like it'd be a lot of days I want to wake up and just call my mom, and I can't. So you know what I mean? It'd be a lot of days where I know it's some advice that I need from my mom, or I need from this person, like, and I can't get it from her because of course she's not here no more. So I have to think about stuff that she told me before and try to incorporate that into now, and some things you can, because back in the day, the rules back in the day was different. So some things you can incorporate into now. So I try to still incorporate what she taught me into now, and sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. Like I'm human, so I make a lot of mistakes. I make a whole lot of mistakes, and I don't consider myself being perfect at all. But I know some things I can try to work to be perfect in, and me opening up and me being more vulnerable to most situations is something that I'm actually trying to work on as well. Like, of course, I'm still be the jokester that I am, still have fun to play around, because that's just me personally. That's the person that I'm actually trying to get back to. But me being more open and vulnerable, and me being more on the situations that I know I need to be, is like, I know she taught me that. And as soon as she left, it's like, well, whatever.
Crying is an emotion. That's true. Crying is an emotion, and it was put in you so that you can release, heartbroken pain and stuff like that. I wasn't a crier either, but when Celine was killed, it I think what stopped the crying when I actually had a cry at the funeral was it became anger.
Yeah.
So it kind of like stopped me up, like stuffed me up where I couldn't cry no more, and I was battling my sickness as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I didn't want to relapse, not using drugs, but my thinking was being bottled. You know what I'm saying? And people don't know that. People couldn't see that. You know what I mean? And just falling back and being by myself and not really wanting to be bothered. You know what I mean? I didn't want to hear the stuff people were saying, about I'll be there, this and that. You know what I mean? And going through the detectives trying to find out, everything that happened was just, it was nerve-wracking, but I was determined. I was determined to get these people. You know what I mean? Justice. It was just like, and God was on my side. You know what I mean? And, if I've ever asked him anything, prayed about anything that hard, was that. And as he always do, he revealed. No matter how the reveal was, he revealed.
He revealed it.
Yeah. And so I know, I could feel how it takes you into another place
another realm
where people sometimes can't see, and the reactions of, your actions and your behavior can be affected, by the pain and the anger. When if your mom was here, she would be able to talk talk to you.
And it's not even
and
that's like a lot of people think that, like me, like this, like a lot of, like, sometimes I'll be going through stuff. Like, I go through stuff, I'll be wishing my mom here. Sometimes I don't even be going through stuff. I'll be wishing my mom here, but as soon as I say something, they think, oh, well, because of this happening, you think of this. Like, nah, not all the time. Sometimes.
What do you mean?
Like, say if anything happened, like anything, like say if I lose a job, I'm like, dang, man, I wish my mom was here. It ain't that I'm mourning for my mom or I'm all out. Just know it's just that I know that the encouraging words she would say,
the support she would give,
the support she would give,
the information words, and
everything
the
like that. Like sometimes people think giving hard support all the time is what you need, especially as men. Like, we come to each other, they be like, man, buck up, man. Man, fuck. Excuse my French, auntie. Like, f that stuff. Like, you get over it. This, that. Sometimes it's like that, but in all actuality, growing up, we wasn't never. A lot of, like, of course, our fathers, if you had your father in your life, he could be hard on you, your uncles could be hard on your brother, but you always needed some type of nurturing from that woman or from your mother or something like that, just so that we could calm you down. It's like a positive and a negative. Everything's going to weigh you out. So even if you could be, as a man, you so tough and hard and everything like that, you still need some type of nurturing to balance yourself out. And I had to, I learned that growing up. Like it's not, you're not soft or considered a punk just because you have feelings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, you're not supposed to go out and just be emotional all the time, because you're supposed to be able to, of course, provide, be strong, protect, and stuff like that. But it's okay to have emotions. And like I said a couple years ago is when I realized that, like, I really have to, like, I've been, I did let my mom death go, but I didn't, because I still, like I said, I still was holding on to trying to find the love. Like, I knew she was going, but I felt as though her spirit and her love could still be there with me. And that's what really was like I said, it was killing me, and it was holding me down, because, like I said, that was making me look at people different and making me fall out with people and making me sometimes say things that I know I shouldn't have said. Like, sometimes, like people, like they say, when you say words, you can't take it back. Sometimes you really can say stuff and not really mean it. Like, you can just say stuff because you want somebody to feel the way you want them to feel, or you want somebody to do this or feel that way. So it's like I felt myself doing that sometimes, and that's called tick for tack or being petty or, you know what I mean, emotionally distraught or something like that. But like you do that so that way somebody can feel the way you feel, and then hopefully like maybe y'all can build each other up after that, like together. So that way it's like you're not alone. So it's really like calling for help more so than really being mean or upset. Like, because some people call for help in an angry way. And people be like, well, he angry, I know that he's this way. Some people call for help in a joking way. Some people call for help emotionally. So it's just the way that you could.
Yeah, sometimes through your actions, you could be crying out for help. So I understand that. But people look at what you're doing and how you're doing it differently.
Like me, like.
Yeah, and will judge what.
Will judge.
But it's what they see. You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's being an addict. You know what I mean? You know, like when somebody said, you know, she loved drugs more than she loved her children.
Yeah.
Nah, never.
Nobody.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
You know, but my actions wasn't showing that. You know what I mean? So people on the outside looking in,
that, but they just was worried about the one action that she was doing and not every other action after that. Like,
right.
Of course, they're looking at you doing drugs, so because that's the worst thing that could have possibly happened. Instead of them looking at the loving side of you, the first thing they're looking at is the addictive side of you. So it's like they're really, like you're saying, judging. So they bypassing everything else that's going on and just to focus on negative. And that's a lot of things. Like I try not to focus on negative. I try to bring positive out of no matter what situation it is. I try to think of something positive, even if I know it's. I mean, if I know it ain't gonna be positive, I know it can. But you still try to think of something positive out of a situation, regardless of what's going on, because every positive is a negative, and for every negative is a positive. So you know something positive gonna come out of it, but it's just when is it gonna happen? So
yeah, some people look at it like, yeah, you just using that. No, you know how you mourn is how you mourn. This is the pain and the hurt is coming through him. Is how it's happening for him. You know, you can't judge somebody else's heart or just somebody else's pain. You know what I mean? So right after this, you tell me that your dad passed.
Yeah, my dad passed. I want to say like 3 years, 2-3 years right after my mom passed. Like he wasn't never really there. Like I'm a junior, but he never was really there. But the thing that hurt me the most with him was when my mom was passing away. I remember I was calling him. We was building our relationship back up, and I was calling him, and he was answering. Then at one time he just stopped answering like he did before. So he just stopped answering. So it was like maybe like a month and a half. He wasn't answering 2 months. So I picked my mom's phone up one time, and she kept telling me she talked to him. I picked the phone. I called him from my phone. He didn't answer. I picked my mom's phone up maybe like 5 minutes later, called him, he answered. I just hung up, and I really never talked to him anymore after that. And then he ended up calling me when my mom passed, and he was talking to me. He kept telling me he was going to come down, but at that point it was just like, whatever, like I don't even really care no more. And then 2 years later, 2.5 years later, I got a call saying that my dad passed away. My sister called me, my older sister Jasmine called me. And she was like, you know, Daddy passed away. And I'm like, what? Like, dang. And then the only thing that played in my head was like, I never had a relationship with him, and maybe I could have built a relationship with him. Like, why don't I have this relationship? Why is this? Like, why didn't you want to be around? So now that's all going through my head of that. So then it was like, then right after he passed, it was like, nobody was there. So now my grandma not there. My dad, of course, my real dad never was around. My mom wasn't there. You know, my grandpa. So it's like the only people I really had to look up to was my brother, like Derek. Like Derek took over a lot of responsibility, I could say. Like he took a lot of responsibility over. Like down there, we was staying with him down there. I did stay with him for a while down there. So he took a lot of responsibility as the provider, as the person, like an older brother. He really took the older brother, but like the parent John, and like he not the, like, I picked up from him like the nonchalantness. Like, and I could say that, like, you know, growing up, man, I was literally like, I'm real nonchalant. Like, I don't say that I hide pain from you being nonchalant, but I'm the person that really don't get too hyped when the situation get hyped. So I don't really, like, I mean, I'm nonchalant, and I picked that up from him for, like, you know, trying to move forward, trying to do stuff like that, but that's not really how everything should be, because that's him. Like, you know what I mean? That's how he handles stuff, and that's how he do stuff. So I realized that I'm nonchalant, but I'm not fully nonchalant, because I do have emotions, and I do want to get emotions out. But like I said, I've been into the wrong people at sometimes, and it made me shut down again, because it's like, if I can't come to you and talk, and I trusted you the most, then who can I really talk to? So I'm not really going to talk to nobody. So
and your dad had an addiction as well.
And my dad had an addiction, a very bad addiction. Like, very, very bad addiction. So that's like, that made me think like, that made me think like what you said, that he loved the drugs more than me. Cause it's like, why, like I'm your only son and I'm a junior and you never was around. So that really hurt a lot too. So.
Well, I can tell you for sure for that I don't believe that your dad didn't love you. You know what I mean? I know that disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and I know for just experience myself that it may appear that, you know, we don't care, or, you know what I mean, we can't give you that time, and we become liars, you know, and all of that. But your dad was suffering. He was suffering with a disease that took him. You know what I mean? It took him, and it made him forget about everything but drugs. You know, the same way it did me. You know what I mean? And your mom. You know what I mean? Because your mom, you know, she was addicted to the same drug. You know what I mean? And when she was getting high, it was a different mom. You know what I mean? As it was a different dad. You know, and
like I used to walk in and say like smart stuff, like it's stinking here, knowing she was smoking. Mom, why is it smoking? It's stinking here, knowing I was knowing she was doing. But I think that's what like my stepdad Ron Boy, he like I consider him, of course, my real dad. You know, Ron Boy.
Right, we love Ron Boy.
Yeah, that's my guy. You know, shout out to my guy, to my step pop Ron Boy. But he
we love Ron Boy.
I think he was the one who actually got my mom to really stop smoking, because he used to smoke cigarettes a lot. He used to do a lot of stuff, and one time Chanel was like, "Dad, you gonna die." And he was like, "Huh?" He's like, "You smoking cigarettes, you gonna die." He just threw the cigarettes away and never smoked again. And then from that point on, my mom stopped having smoking parties, like a lot of smoking parties. So I really think that her quitting sometimes, I mean, had a lot to do with Ron Boy as well, just by him just giving up cigarettes, like really like cold turkey. He just gave cigarettes up just like that.
Well, your mom did the same thing with smoking cocaine. I'm gonna tell you that, because when I got clean, I came out so full of joy, and now I want to help everybody. You know what I mean? I'm telling everybody. I'm telling them, nah, you got to go to rehab. I know you got to go to rehab. She told me, get the F out of her face and don't tell her how to do nothing. You know what I mean? She said, I'm going to quit, and that's what I'm going to do. And my sister quit. Just like that. She did no rehab. She didn't go to NA or AA. So that's what allowed me to know that, you know, I can't say people have to do recovery that way, but the ones of us who can't do what she did, you know what I mean, I suggest rehab. You follow? She went to church, and that's when she got back into the choir and was singing for Ron. What's his name? Rodney. He started singing with Rodney, and I wish someone, if Rodney is not even watching, could be on here and come on the show and share about that situation, because he really loved my sister. He really loved her. He helped her a whole lot. You know, and we are grateful and so thankful that he did. You know, he gave her a beautiful. He was a beautiful part of her funeral and everything, you know, and he honored my sister. You know, and you know, because she was a loving person, you know, and she loved singing. She loved singing with Rodney.
That's one thing she did.
And but your dad was just suffering.
He was suffering a lot.
He was suffering. He could not, you know, function or think, because disease is, that's what it does. It takes all that from you, and it makes you look like this beast of, I don't care, and I'm not this, and I can't do that, you know.
It made me think, like, of course, because my older sister, I was like, well, you got pictures with her. Like, you got pictures with your grandchildren. Like, well, why you don't want to come around me? Like, I felt as though, like, well, you might just don't really bang with me like that. Like, or you don't really, I don't know what's going on. But then one thing my mom never did was talk bad about me, or it made me feel as though, like, he was bad. Like, she's like, no, your dad is this. No, trust me, your dad. Like, she never said nothing bad about my father, which made me respect her even more. Like, you're not going to turn me against him. You're going to let me make my own decision. Like,
what's Rodney's last name?
Bradley.
Stacy, Rodney Bradley.
So it's like she really, like, you know what I mean? She really showed me, like, and that stuck with me a lot too, because it's like, even to this day, I don't try to talk bad about nobody. Like, oh, nah, this person is this or this person is that. I try not to do that at all, especially when it comes to children and their father or mother or uncle, aunt, whoever your guardian is. I try not to talk bad about anybody because they don't know what, like, I don't know what they was going through for them to actually, like you said, quit or for them to get over it. I have to have a theory of what happened or say this help or this help right here, but I don't know the pain or the suffering that they actually was going through. So, like, I actually had to realize that they was going through a fight or they was going through pain and suffering, and we was just little and we just ain't know. We just thought that they had to do what they had to do. Like, nah, you gotta do this, or no, you gotta be here, you gotta do this. But a lot of times they still fighting within themselves of addiction, or should I do this, or should I do this,
you didn't know the zombie part of it. You know, of what your mother and your father was going through, because they got high together for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, addiction of drugs or alcohol can cause two people who loved each other to separate and become enemies. Yeah. You know what I mean? All over the drug. You know what I'm saying? Drugs is powerful. It's just that powerful. You know, but to come up as a kid to watch it, you know, we make it look easy. But we think that we not allowing you to see what is really going on, but it's us that's blind, not you. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's us that can't see, not you. You know what I mean? So, you know, we thinking that we doing one thing, and in the interim we doing another. Yeah. You know, in their eyes, because we're blind again. You know, and we do try to protect.
Derek.
Is that Derek?
Yeah, I'm on IG on this side, so Derek, say what's up.
What is IG?
Instagram.
Oh, okay. Hey, Derek. Hey. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, why, you know, we didn't get everybody back from the last
it's a different platform.
Live. Okay, that's beautiful. Hey, nephew. You know, Frank is on here expressing his feelings and, you know, sharing about some of the depression that he's been dealing with and situations that was very hard for, and I'm quite sure for you too. You know what I mean? Because all of us had to have had that strong love for your mom, my sister. You know what I mean? And as a child of a mom and a dad of addiction is hard, you know, and to lose both of them. You know what I mean? You know, but one thing I can say, your mother was in recovery. You know what I mean? From the drug addiction. Thank God. Hallelujah for that. You know what I'm saying? And your father just wasn't there. You know what I mean? Yeah, he wasn't, you know, to that. Yeah. You know, and probably just, you know, your mom passing and everything hurt him too, because he always loved her.
That's what I heard. I heard they were together
always
for 15
loved
years.
her. Yes, he always loved her. And he was good, you know, you just don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember none of it. Like,
as a kid, you know, as a baby, because, you know, like I said, disease causes separation, disease causes all kinds of everything negative. You know what I'm saying? Versus it does positive. And being so young, just like Mert with his alleged dad, you know, he was saying, you know, he never felt, you know, the love from him. You know what I mean? His dad, he was under the same situation. You know what I mean? On drugs, you know what I mean? I got on drugs, and, you know, it's really no excuse, but it's life and it happened.
Yeah, everything happens.
You know what I mean? You know?
And it's like, they say everything happens for a reason, but I feel as though sometimes you can stop some stuff from happening. Like, it's not always a reason stuff happening. Sometimes we can provoke stuff to happen to make a reason.
Well, we had a provoker. It was called disease. That was cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, it just made us believe we could stop, we could start, we could stop, we could start, and we really don't want to do it. You know what I mean? But it's strong. It's more powerful than we are. You know what I mean? And we didn't have a clue of what disease was. You know, when we all tried to get clean and go into, you know, get some help and everything, disease was brought to our attention. You know, unlike your mom got it as a demon. You know what I mean? And, you know, which is the same, basically, you know, as disease, because it is a damn demon. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the pain and the hurt that we bring on you all is not deliberately.
At all.
You know what I mean? Derek and can understand it a little better because they were older than you. He's seen much more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Him and Mankey, they've seen much more. It's the generational gap, like I said, you know, that, you know, turn and changes, and, you know, they had to become adults, you know, as they were children. Yeah. You know what I mean? You didn't really see your mom's addiction that way. You know, you had the mom, like Merton would say, you know, y'all ain't seen nothing, Anisha. You know, the time here, you know what I mean? Y'all don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All the time you remind us.
Yeah, you know, and they went through their pain. Yeah. You follow what I'm saying? You know, and it wasn't beautiful.
At all.
You know what I mean? It wasn't beautiful to have a mom that was beautiful, and, you know, and as well as their dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like, because right after I lost my mom, I lost a son. Like, right after I lost my mom, I lost a baby right after. So as soon as my mom passed away, we buried my mom. A week later, we went down there the next day, or 2 days later, we had to rush back down there because Derek had to go to work, so his job was acting crazy. So we went back down there, and a day later, I ended up losing a son. Like, yeah, my girlfriend at the time was pregnant, and she was like, I want to say 6 months pregnant or something. 4, 5, 6 months pregnant, and ended up losing a child right then and there. So it was like I was facing both of those at the same time, and I just was like, well, I guess this is how it's gonna be. Like, that's how I thought about it.
So that's even more.
Yeah, then right after
depression. That even added more
to depression.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't know these things happen to you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, and like I said, people be on the outside looking in, and some don't know your story. You know your full story. That's a lot to deal with. That's a whole lot to deal with.
I definitely say that like a lot of stuff took a toll where it was like I said, I was doing a lot of like I lost myself. I could really say that. Like lost myself to the point where it was just like I said, I really had to find myself again like a couple years ago.
Anger is no joke. Hurt and pain and anger is no joke. Toy is on watching too. Toy said it's Toy Edmond. More proud of you, Uncle Frank.
Yeah,
love you.
Baby. That's the baby right there.
And she made another statement down here that I came across.
That's my baby right there. I think she said something about Nate was watching.
Yeah, she said Nate was watching. Yeah. Whoever Nate is.
Her son.
Hey, Betta and son. Winnie.
That's nephew right there.
There it is. She said, Toy Evan, I have Nate watching some of this too. It's important for him to see that real men have emotions, and that's okay. Absolutely, Toy. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and our HUD came on high, you know. Yeah. And
like through our community.
Hey, Dawn.
And through our community with black men, a lot of us don't want to share our emotions. Like they say, they think it's like a sign of weakness, a sign of stuff like that. And like I was a victim of that as well. Like man, I'm showing emotion for. Like I don't cry, I don't do this, but like I have cried before behind closed doors, but it wasn't like I said, I haven't cried. I cried, like I said, because it was so much pressure. I felt as though it was so much inside of me that it was.
And that can cause you to act out.
Yeah, and I
feel act out in ways that because you're numb, then you don't feel what somebody else see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it can cause it's like a part of mental health.
Yeah, a lot of people
it's a part of depression. You know what I'm saying? So
Gemini, that's how you act. Like, nah, it ain't that. It's just I knew I had a lot built up.
I don't believe in all that astrology.
Yeah, I don't either. So I had to
you know what I'm saying?
I had to release a lot of stuff. Like it's a lot of stuff that had to be released that I feel as though it wasn't released. So
Stacy Love said, crying is an emotion. Hell, Jesus whipped, and he was 100% man and 100% God. So if crying was good enough for Jesus, then it's good enough for men to cry also. Yeah. Powerful statement, Stay.
Yeah,
and that's a fact. Teresa said, she knows that feeling. She knows that feeling, wanting to talk to my mom, and I can't. So I just cry. And these are people who has lost their parents or lost somebody in their families as well. Hey, Daphne, the conversations that they're having and giving to each other. And Penny, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute, girl, but welcome back. I look forward to seeing you. And her said, yes, I wish our mom was still here. but through prayer she is. Like I had my mom and my sister, your mom, Lena, and Saline, and Aleem. I have them, and my aunt Catherine. I have all of them in my heart in a special place. That I can still feel them. I often feel guilty to myself that I haven't really dreamt of my son. You know what I mean? Because I think I want it so bad. You know what I mean? I can have dreams about everybody, but like they're there and it's real and it's lifelike. But I have not had that, of my son. He popped up, but it wasn't popped up like a moment for me. You know what I'm saying? So, missing and loving, your loved ones is really hard, but because I believe in my higher power, you know what I mean? It strengthens me, and I know that it's nothing that I have not prayed for that have not come to me, and prayer leads to patience. And
I could watch the ocean evaporate. I have a whole lot of patience in the world, but it's just like, I don't know, like the patience is always there, but it's the pain. It's the pain that's really killing me inside.
Y'all hear this? It's the pain.
Yeah, the pain was really the one that was killing me inside. Like, I knew for sure that I gotta release it. I know for sure, like I know how to deal with different stuff myself. Of course, everyone know how to get over stuff that they need to get over.
Some of us do. We hide behind the mask, as you are.
Yes, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even self, as you are. The mask wearing is powerful.
Very powerful.
I don't know who don't wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? Or have that closet.
It's just the way that you deal with it, the way that you can interact and stuff like that, how people live with it and stuff like that. Like I said, I pushed a lot of stuff to the side. Like I said, a lot of things to the side where it caused procrastination, it caused anger, it caused like I say, I withheld stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I felt as though I had to deal with a lot of stuff by myself, and I really didn't have to. And that's really like where I came to the realization too of really help matters. Like I really felt as though like sometimes like when my mom passed, I felt as though nobody was there for me. Like that's how I felt. Like nobody was there because nobody seen what I seen. Nobody felt what I felt. So I felt as though nobody.
And now some can hear and understand what you really have been through. You know what I mean? Like a lot of what you telling me, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I had no clue of.
There's a lot of pain that was in there that I never could release, because like I said, I didn't want to tell the wrong person something and stuff like that. Like Tamir, Tamir is my best friend. Like, you know what I mean? Me and him talk about everything. It's a lot of stuff that I haven't never even told him, and he'd be like, I know my cousin's going through this, I know this right here, but I still don't say nothing about it. Like I just let it go, let it bypass, let it keep going, crack a couple jokes through this and stuff like that. But like it's just conversations that, like I say, conversations me and him had, conversations me and my brother Derek had, me and Chanel had, even me and my other best friend Scooter, me and him had before, like just conversations, and them actually, like it ain't like I say, you learn from everybody. So even though I'm 38, I still learn from a lot of people because
38, boy, y'all making me old.
So it's like I still learn from a lot of people.
I'm on a countdown too, y'all. Birthday countdown. Day 5 is today. Next Monday is the 25th, which is my born day. You know what I mean? And for God's will, I hope to get to it. You know what I'm saying? And my birthday gift to me is to let my hair go gray, y'all.
I'm getting there myself, a little gray. I'm getting up there. But
that come from stress and all that stuff. But mine's getting old gray. But y'all know what? People can, like I said, people can look behind, a lot of what they think they know about you and know of you. And you're like, to be honest with you, because sometimes, like, you do some of the shit, stuff, you be like, Frank, what made you do that dumb shit?
Just make you do that.
You know what I'm saying? Frank, why did you even think to do that dumb shit? You know what I mean? And to you, it wasn't dumb fit, and his face was always like this.
That dumb on my face.
The dumb face. You know what I'm saying? So when you do something over and over and over again, damn. You know what I mean? Like, you be like, when enough will be enough with this joker? Goodness gracious. You know what I mean? But I never knew a lot of what you said here and said. Because you know why? I closed my mind to all of that. Like I say, people, when it comes into, with death, other people forget. You know what I mean? You know, all that I'll be there for you. This is that, this is that, this is that. And it's over. You know, if something happened and it's over. But you as the one who has to deal with it, it's never over.
At all.
It is never over. Yes, God gives us the strength to deal with it differently than some others. You know what I'm saying? But again, I went through that depression of losing my mom. I went through that depression of losing your mom. You know what I mean? That took me out. You know what I mean? Because these are the first times I'm really losing people who are close to me like that. You know, as a mom, I miss my mom. My mom was one of my sponsors. You know what I'm saying? My mom was down with, you know, and supported me through my whole addiction. You know what I'm saying? And she and I talked and discussed a whole lot. You know what I mean? And I missed that from her. Me and your mom discussed a whole lot in the part of the love that I had for her, and I miss that. You know what I mean? She is one of my sisters, out of the oldest sisters that, you know, I talk to. Like I didn't go to Cheryl, I didn't go to Penny, I went to Lena. You know what I mean? Because Lena gonna tell you like it is.
She gonna tell you how it is.
You know what I'm saying? Lena gonna tell you how it is, and Lena, you know, she made time for you.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So she was a beautiful woman, a beautiful sister too. You know, all family members go through stuff. You know what I mean? But it's just love. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you follow what I'm saying? You can be mad at. Me and my sister can be mad at each other, but we gonna find that connection back. You know, my mom didn't play that crap about, you know, y'all don't speak and all this kind of stuff. So we don't do that. You know what I mean? And if we did, it has to snap back. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, you never know today who's going next. It's just happening so much. So, you know, making amends, you know, from some of the things you've done and surrendering some of the things you've done to yourself. First, Frank.
I saw that
to yourself first. You have, and that's what I see you doing.
A lot of the patterns that's happening is happening because of me bottling the stuff in and keeping stuff in, and it's like
and it don't get better. It don't get better when you relapse. You relapse in mourning as well. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's relapsing in mourning as well. You know what I mean? You can be feeling great and good like I do with my son, and then out of nowhere, you know, I get into that thing and I look at this picture over here and I be like, damn, my son is really dead. It's been 14 years. My sister been dead. It's been 14 what? 14 years? Because they all passed. It was so crazy. It was like a dark cloud over top of our heads. You know, the Allen's heads. And it was just happening and the Fars. You know what I mean? My cousin, you know, with my aunt and then my other aunt. It was just so much. It was too much. It was just so much. And, you know, behind me, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear people telling me stuff, you know, about my son and what I wasn't doing, you know, at the funeral. You know, like, mind your business is where I was. You know what I'm saying? And it made me angry, and it added more pain to me than it helped me. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you say, man, it ain't about your mom no more. You know, it ain't about your brother no more. You know what I mean? I miss my brother something fierce. You know what I'm saying? I had to add him to that circle. You understand? And that's heavy. It's really heavy.
It's real heavy
it's really heavy. But when we know we've done things too, Frank, we have to, you know, make amends to people. And it has to come honestly. Because the truth is going to set you free. You know what I mean? You know, you put a lot of that weed in and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it may be that factory weed shit, but it gets you high. You know what I'm saying? So mentally in your mind, it's like, man, this legal. This from the doctor. Yeah, you getting toe up from the damn flow up. That ain't how they give you the damn directions to do this shit. You know what I mean? But you be getting that shit in. You follow what I'm saying? And it do help. It does calm people. It helps people with cancer. You know what I mean? It helps people with lupus. It helps people with a whole lot of things. But you know, when you're trying to block something,
that's the thing. You
can't pain, it does not work for that. It becomes worse than it becomes good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to you, you know, stop doing what you're doing. That's up to you. You know, I will give you as much information about it that I can. And like I said, y'all, I'm no doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. I'm just a grateful recovering addict. I am a person who experienced death and depression and mourning. You know what I mean? And what we talking about is what we talking about, and how we can help each other. But I will not leave out that there is help for you.
And you have to just,
you know what I mean? You're not crazy because you need to see a psychologist. You're not crazy because you need to go look for help with a therapist. You know what I mean? Words are vicious. Psychologist, therapist. I don't need none of that.
It's just the words that they use. It's all common words.
It's all common words, but it's help.
It's help. It's just
You'd be so surprised in what you will get from it if you open up to it. You know what I mean? Like these conversations, man, you can have 24/7. You know that. You know I always be
just
here.
call and just talk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a phone call away. Yeah.
Me, I don't really call a lot. It's just like, yo, let me talk about this. Like me, like I said, me and Chanel talk a lot because I know she want to talk about my mom a lot sometimes. So I know me and her talk a lot. So with me and her talking a lot, I know for sure that
who's Taja Burton?
Taja
Burton said, everyone deals with grief in different ways. It's never going to be okay. You just learn to let it out and live with it. Also, don't allow yourself to take your heart or pain out on others that has been, say Seymour, that has been there for you, and that's absolutely true.
A lot of times you can push people away just by your anger.
You can ruin your life through that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where
I stayed a lot of stagnant. I could tell myself, like, I lost jobs sometimes because of this situation.
Because your behaviors, because of where you at, and where you in your head, feeling sorry for yourself, hurt, pain, feeling alone. People don't understand you. You know what I mean?
Like, you know what? I could find something else. F this, and I just leave and just like forget about it.
And that's what it comes to mind. F it. I just go somewhere. I've been there.
A lot of times, I lost a lot of jobs. I lost stuff like that. I lost people, jobs. You know what I mean? All types of stuff like that. Like
Stacy said, grief isn't like a gallon of milk. It doesn't have any expiration dates.
Nah, it doesn't.
That was nice. You know, that's the truth. I will never be over. You know. The love and pain of my loved ones. I do try to turn my pain into acceptance. You know what I mean? And I do accept it. That's the crazy part. I do accept it. But like Taja said, it's never going to be the same. It's never going to go away. But acceptance. Plays a big role. I look at everything with my disease. You know, it's never going to go away. You know, but I put it in remission. You know what I'm saying? I know what danger it can do to me. I know what it can do in turn in my life. You know what I mean? I challenge everything with that, though, even the death part. You know what I'm saying?
But like a couple of years, that's when I really realized it. Like I'm like, yo, I'm really letting my mother down. Like that's how I felt, as though like you know what, Mom? Like I know for sure that I'm letting you down. I know for sure that what I'm doing right now is not what you taught me to do. Like you know what I mean? Not what you actually raised me to be. And I lost myself from that, and that's made that's why I could say like a couple years ago it clicked. Like you know what? Like I already let her go, but I have to go out here and find me personally. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have to find my love.
You lost the love of your mom, but you lost the value of self.
Yeah, my value of myself, and that right there what it was, and that right there, like I said, it made a dent into a lot of things in my life that made me it made me lose and gain a lot. Like I can't say, everything is not negative. Like I didn't lose everything, but I did gain a lot because a lot of information and the valuable memories, information, stuff like that I gained is going to stick with me forever. So it's going to teach me and help me grow. So a lot of stuff that I lost actually helped me grow too. So it actually taught me. So it was a good and a bad.
Right. It's weighing. You know what I mean? It's weighing.
Yeah, it's just and realize to comprehend it. That
you have to recover from it. Yeah. You have to recover from this tragic thing. You know, but I really did not know a lot of what you said to me, of what you had to do and what you've seen. That's hard.
Yeah,
that is really hard, and it's your mother. And I understand that because that Alzheimer's took my mom out, man. I've never seen a woman so strong, and survivor like that, as a nurse. And, her choice of, her cause of death was something that she could not handle.
Yeah.
That made her lose her memory. That's a hurt piece. I could not watch the end of Alzheimer's. I could not do it because I refuse to see my mom deteriorate like that.
Yeah.
I'm just not a person that can do that, as well as my son.
Yeah.
When my son passed, I could not look at him. I could not touch him. I could not go to get him dressed. I could not do any of that. Do I regret it?
Yeah.
Must bring this up. Yes, I do. I wished I would have hugged my son. I wished I would have watched them be up there with my kids while they closed that coffin. I wished I would have done everything different that I've done, and that's the part that came back to haunt me. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, Dad, I let him down. That's my baby. That's my loved one. I say it all the time. That's my baby. But it's just something about that body that I knew was just flesh. And I knew that God had my child. You know what I mean? And I knew he had my mom, and I know he had my sister. And just looking at all of that just wasn't good for me.
At all.
So I knew when they told me my son and my mom and, everybody was passed, that my heart automatically grabbed that. I just had to learn how to put it, the broken pieces, like up here with sickness, my broken pieces back in the right place. You know what I'm saying? So I can feel what you're saying. You're going through pretty much the same type of thing. You know what I mean? And it's how you deal with it and accept it, though. Acceptance is big, Frank. And we have to accept that.
I accepted it.
And nobody could tell him or tell you how long that's going to take. Even though it has invested in your relationships, in your your loved ones, around your friends, and mingled into family and everything. Nobody can tell you how long you can mourn. But at the end of the day, you have to surrender to it. You know what I mean?
It's like I accepted, but it just wasn't the accountability I was accepting.
Well, it's just saying I accept it is one thing, but do you accept it? You know what I mean? That's what I'm hearing from you now, because for you to come to me and come through this big like this shows me a whole nother side. Now, can you relapse from this? Yes, indeed. You know what I mean? But if your heart, your mind, and your faith is all working together,
that's all it is.
It's going to take place.
That's all.
And you're going to have to fight very hard.
To keep it
self to get better, because it starts with
yourself,
and it's going to end with
yourself. Exactly.
So you are the one that make the choices. You're the one that make the decision. You're the one that'll let this go as long as it's been a long time. But it's not too long, as far as I'm concerned, because it's you. That's how you love. That's what you lost. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with depression. You're dealing with a situation. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to get the help to get through it. And this first step that you took today, I'm very proud of you, nephew. I am so proud of you. And I'm quite sure all the family and, and the friends that is watching this is just as proud. That's why all these shout outs on here is giving you that shout out, because, this too, I'm not going to say this too shall pass, you know what I mean? But this too shall become acceptance. I'll say it that way. You know what I mean? For you to be able to live, let live, and let God. You know what I mean? And I truly can say today that you have to put your God first. And you have to believe in prayer. And you have to pray and wait for it to happen. But at the same time, you still got to fight.
That's what it is.
You got to fight. And you have to be aware. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be aware. Start praying, Frank.
I wasn't fighting the right way. I was fighting more so.
You was fighting self.
I was fighting self and fighting else.
You know what I mean? You was fighting self. The devil was jumping in there. He always want to take us out, one way or the other. I can't stand him because of the disease. I can't stand it. Neither one of them. You follow what I'm saying? You know, they're always coming. It's always coming with a fight. You know what I mean? Especially when it's winning and taking you down. You've lost too much.
I lost a lot.
You lost too much.
A lot of people look at me and be like, come on, that ain't even you. Like, why are you acting like that? That's not you. And I felt that. Like,
look, I see the tears in your eyes. I'm watching this man cry, you know, and I know sometimes the fake shit can come on. You know what I'm saying? We all good. I used to cry fake all the time. You know what I'm saying? But this is real. You know what I mean? And I sense real. You know I'm going to tell you the truth.
Of course.
You know I'm going to tell you like you need to hear, right?
Of course.
You know I'm going to do that. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to, like, try to make this shit seem like it's this or it's that. You know, because you have to become authentic with self. You know what I mean? And you can't allow yourself to demolish like this. You know what I'm saying? Your mother loved you unconditionally. And when she was telling you you had to be strong, this is what she's talking about.
Yeah, and I feel that I had to understand that. Like you said, accept it and actually comprehend it. Like I actually really had to understand.
You had to accept
it. I had to understand it. I had to accept everything that I really had to accept because it was like, if I didn't, I would have kept going through it.
And I can care less how many people say, oh, he too old for that. You ain't never too old for it. Are you kidding me? You're never too old for it. And I don't care how long it has taken you. You know what I mean? I have respect you more on another level tonight. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You have shared a lot. You have shown a lot. Yeah. Those are not fake tears. Those are the tears that you've been holding. Yeah. Those are the tears that you didn't want nobody to see. Yeah, you know, but you're allowing yourself to cry and be emotional, and I promise you it's going to help cleanse you. I'm telling you. It's like, going to help fix you.
I feel as though that's like what I really needed was to like get stuff out because like I said, I was venting to the wrong people. Like no matter what it was.
Sometimes who you vent to may not be the one that you should.
You could be venting to the devil and not even know that you are, and then it get used against you. And then once it get used against you, now you're looking at it a certain way.
And you know what? People always bring up what they remember you did too. They always bring up the lies that you have told. You know, and the actions that you have shown. You know what I mean? But today, look, today is today. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he has one day at a time, just like everybody else. You know, and everybody else have something going on with them too. It just wasn't you not as strong, or than some people where they see fit you to be strong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you be proud of what you did today. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you keep working on yourself. You know, and like you said, sometimes people, places and things can be the wrong people, places, and things for you. And you have to make that decision, you know what I mean, to make those choices, to be around certain people. Some people you gotta let go until you can live and let go, you know, of this situation. You know what I mean? And that don't mean that a person don't love you, because some people don't really know what love is. Yeah, you know what I mean? They care. You know what I mean? But love is love. You know, you're going to know what love is when it touches your heart. You're going to feel a whole different world. Trust me when I tell you that.
I felt that maybe like I said, when I lost my mom, I didn't feel it, but then I ain't feel it in a while, and I actually felt it again. First thing I did was I felt it, I loved it, and then it got pushed away, just like I said. By
you loved your mother. You know what I mean? But you got to go back to wanting those feelings, even though she's not here. I love my baby. You know what I mean? I love my mom. You know what I mean? And I love my sister. You know, and all of it is like I said, in different pieces of my heart. You know what I mean? But I know I still have the love for them, together for them. But I realize that, you know, I will see them again. You know what I mean? Not here physically. You know what I mean? On this earth anymore. They're in a great place. They're in a real great place. And you know, all was in those coffins was flesh. You know what I mean? Flesh that man pretties up and makes up in the illusion of who that person was. You know what I mean? So, you know, back in the day, in generations, they said that's the way to go. Well, today is today. And I don't believe in all that. I don't like it. It causes a lot of pain. I know my mom is in heaven. I know my son is in heaven. I know Lena is in heaven. I know Curtis is in heaven, because that's where my heart is. And that's what my heart says. And that's my belief. And I have a God that is powerful. You understand what I'm saying? And he helps me to help me to heal, and as I'm healing now from the pain of the flesh that I saw. You know what I'm saying? See, I say some things out of my mouth sometimes. I just be like, what the heck? Where did that come from? You know what I mean? But that's what I feel. And it's okay for me to feel what I feel, as well it is for you. But it can't be damaging. You can't allow it to take you from the flesh of what we saw. Your mother loved you unconditionally. You understand? She loved all her children unconditionally. And you have to hold on to that and believe that. You know that she did. You follow what I'm saying? It's the pain from all the flesh of what we saw. You know what I mean? And some part of people, places, and things not understanding. You know what you felt, because I have to surrender. I didn't look at it that way. I'm looking at it that way today. And now, because you're talking and you're sharing, and I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching you emotionally. You know what I mean? Speak your truth. You follow? I didn't have you come on here so, you know, the lies that you done told this person or that person or this person, that you come on here and tell the lies that you told this person or that person. I had you come on here to speak your truth today and what's happening with you and what's going on with you. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping others can see this same thing. You know, but people, places, and things, you know, can look at certain things and never give up your past. They do me like that. I've been off of cocaine 40 years, and some people still remember me being on and talk shit. You know what I mean? But it's okay, because honestly and truthfully, I'm the only one can tell that story. And honestly and truthfully, as you know, I'm the one that lived that story. You know what I mean? And I have accepted the things I cannot change. Change the things I can. And the wisdom to know the difference. And even though they know I'm not out here getting high, you know what I mean? They will always bring up the old past of your memories one way or the other. And don't even know that they doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's something about that, you know, in our lives that make, you know, it's just the devil. To me, it's just disease to me. You know what I mean? But it don't fade, it don't bother me anymore. You know what I mean? Because once I'm done, I'm done. You know what I mean? And once I'm done with the conversation is over. You follow what I'm saying? And you can keep it in your head and do what you do all you want to. But if you can't open up, because nobody's perfect, not one given soul, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? But because you've done some dumb things and did some crazy stuff, it makes you look like you the villain. It makes you look like you the one that did it all. You know what I mean? But nobody knows what happens behind a closed door. There's always two stories. One tell one, the other tell the other. You know what I mean? Because the devil's in the middle of both of you, and it done crashed your world. You know what I mean? So, you know, the sticks and the stones gets thrown. You know what I mean? That's how I see it through life. You know what I mean? Like, me and my husband can go through something. You know what I mean? I don't like shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say I don't like it. You know what I mean? And sometimes it be so crazy. Sometimes that you be like, I got to get away from it. I got to do this and I got to do that. But I will not let the devil tear away two good people who goes through things. You know what I mean? Addiction is involved. You know what I'm saying? You know, and love is involved. Man, that's something. That is really something. You know what I'm saying? Especially in grieving. You know what I'm saying? If the pain gets in the way, any way the devil can come in, something is going to come in. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to change you. You know, if you allow that, it's going to change you. You know?
They said, like I heard, they said anger is
it's a food force. Oh my God, yes.
I heard anger is an emotion for someone else. Like if you angry,
you go, Anya, hey daughter-in-law, I love her. Hey daughter-in-law, she said, I hear you, Trey. It's the truth, Anya. It really is. You don't know how much I deal with through my kids. You know what I mean? Sometimes they talk their little stuff. You know what I mean? If it's the truth, I'm going to surrender. If it's not, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to think of something the way that you want me to think of something, because you're only thinking of yourself, you know, versus what you think how I should feel. You know what I mean? If it's bothering you, and sometimes hurt people like to hurt people. That's just not from people that you don't know. That's from family, loved ones. It don't matter. It's from people at your job. It's from people in the church. It's everywhere. know what I'm saying? This is real. That's what I think they call lifing. You know what I'm saying? Life. But when you get straight and you get honest with you, you know, and you try to make the change in you, of course things that you've done in your past will stand in the way of a person who knows about it. You know what I mean? Or living that thing with you. You know what I mean? But that don't mean change can't happen. That don't mean that that person can't change. And I'm quite sure there's a lot of what he's saying on here that none of us knew. You follow what I'm saying? And people look at you as a lie because you done told some damn lies. You know what I mean? But ain't nobody never lied. You understand what I'm saying? And some still lying. You know what I mean? Because they just ain't got caught in their lie. You follow what I'm saying? But when you lie to yourself is where the pain is the most. You understand? When you recognize. So you got to surrender and you have to get honest with yourself. You know what I mean? And anybody who's going to be there for you will be there for you. You know, I'm definitely here for you. I suggest that you still get a therapist. You follow what I'm saying? And work hard on you. Love yourself, Frank, because you lost a lot of love in you when you lost your mother's love. You understand what I'm saying? I'm looking for it the wrong way and the wrong places. Yes, because nobody's going to replace her.
And thinking you found it and then really find it, but then you think you found it, so then you get comfortable with that situation.
And but you going into even your relationships. Yeah. You going into relationships wrong because right now you're depressed, and right now but they don't see it at the beginning. You know what I mean? The same with my husband. You know what I mean? I see him different than what I saw him when I first met him. I mean, not first met him, but first got with him. You understand what I'm saying? Because we done got to comfortable, and we done got to all the new stuff is going now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? The meeting and the getting together and all the, you know, trying to be this and trying to show each other that you love each other. Well, now it done settled the hell in. Okay, 17 years later, it done settled in real good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Life is the life in. You know, but when you love yourself, it's going to give you that open door to love somebody else. You know what I mean? Regardless to what you're going through. But it comes a time where being sick and tired is being sick and tired. You know what I mean? So you got to expect that too.
That was another phrase that was said to me. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like I remember that phrase a lot growing up with my mom. I'm tired. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So right there. Like, like,
Frida Burton. Hey, Frida. Frida Burton said, be very careful who you vent to. As Tracy said, pray. Talk to God. He'll direct your heart. I know I tried him. It works. Absolutely, Frida. Absolutely, because nobody is perfect. And I don't even really believe like no relationship is perfect either. You know what I mean? And everybody tells some little white lies and some lies. You know what I mean? A lie could be this big and grow till it's that big. You know? Absolutely. You lying ass now. You know you.
I lie my ass off one day.
You know you can steal them Whoppers. You know what I'm saying? And you be looking at you like this. Who does boy think he talking to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But right now, you talking.
Yeah.
You talking from your heart. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that. I'm not going to knock you down. I'm not going to knock you from this day on. I'm going to try to help you. And I want you to know that I'm there for you. You know what I mean? You know? And my doors, you know, my heart, that's the door. It's open to you as if it always was. But, you know, just suffering, you know, talking and you know, getting honest and you telling thousands of people, you know, your story. Hey, that's not simple. That's not easy. And like we're getting the feedback, a lot of people been through the same thing. You know what I mean? The name of the game is to fix it. You know, give it to God. You know, and put your higher power first. You know what I'm saying? And surrender. You know, accept all this stuff. You know, even accept the death of my sister, your mother. You know what I mean? Easier said than done. But you've been through enough beatdown. You know, and this is where your mother, this is what she don't want for you.
And I
you know?
realized that, like,
and that goes to you too, Derek, and y'all, if you watch, and I understand, you know, I can't tell you your pain. I would never try to do that. You know, but my own pain from my own experiences is rough. It really is. But, you know, I know that I have a God, and I know that I have a higher power who is great over all. You know what I mean? Who helps restore these things, you know, and, you know, just keep praying and believe in your prayer. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, good things are going to come to you. Good things are going to come to you. And sometimes things that was can come back. You know what I mean? Because
there's a lot of good things that did happen, like you said, and I pushed it away.
You push it away every time because that's your defense.
Of course, yeah.
That's how you do things. That's your defense.
And it's like you don't know you pushing it away, but in all actuality, like you have to when it's all said and done, you realize you push it away more so than see it while you're doing it. Like, of course, you can stand your ground and say this and be, you know what I mean, be your own person, your own individual. But a lot of times you push stuff away and don't even realize you're doing it, and then feel as though, and then you blame someone else for you pushing it away, thinking that they was just supposed to understand, or
you never see your own self.
At all.
You know what I mean? When you're dealing in depression.
At all.
You can't see it. You are blind. And you can't even feel it. You are emotionless. You don't have feelings.
At all.
You know, and other people can see it. You know what I mean? The way that they see you. You know what I mean? But they see you on the outside, not the inside. You know what I mean? They don't know what's going on up here. They don't even know what you prevail to people. You know what I'm saying? So what you show is what people is going to talk about, but what you're actually feeling is suffering. You know, when you're really trying to reach out for help and you don't know how because the one person that has you depressed is no longer here. You know what I mean? And that's normal, Frank. You know, losing your mom, you know what I mean? And losing a loved one that is close to you, that you love unconditionally. You know what I mean? Especially a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like a grandmom or something like that. You know, but you and your mom was unique. You know, she was unique with y'all. You know what I mean? And you was a happy kid. You was a real happy kid. Even all the way up to your graduations and everything. She got to see all of that. You know what I mean? She just wanted you to become a man. You know what I mean?
And a man that she didn't envision.
No, you became a man that has been torn from losing her. You know what I mean? You are a good man. You are a good guy. You are a good, beautiful human being. You know, and all of us go through something. You know what I mean? Accept that. Accept things that you cannot change. You've done a lot of things. You said a lot of things. But you have to change the things you can with the wisdom to know the difference. And if change is what you are trying to do, you know what I mean? It takes work. Believe me, I'm still working on myself. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people need to be working on a lot of things that they don't think that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take an inventory. You have to keep taking inventories on yourself and recognize what you are doing. Give it to him. You understand what I'm saying, nephew? Give it to him. You know, because that's what you're struggling with right now. You said it. You done said it in 5 different ways.
I can say a lot of I said a whole lot of things. Just like they say, the connotation of everything. I said it just by that right there, just by the connotation of just talking like that. So I definitely said a lot of things, and like I said, it's just accepting the accountability and accepting the fact that
I know we've been on here for it's almost 9 o'clock. But this is the deal. What's for you is going to be for you. You follow what I'm saying? This thing starts with you, and it's going to end with you. You understand? And it's going to come from your choices and decisions. And you learning how to live and let God. You understand what I'm saying? Stay open. You follow? Find that person. Get that help that you need. You know what I'm saying? Get that help that you need. You feel what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with having a therapist. There's nothing wrong with any of that. You follow? I see mine. You know what I mean? I've been seeing one for years. You know, and I'm okay. I'm okay today. You know, but it's still medication for me. I know what works for me. You know what I'm saying? I know what works for me. I done bounced back from a junkie of 82.5 pounds to a beautiful queen. You follow what I'm saying? Who loves herself and accepts all the things that she done. I don't care who knows. I don't care who thinks or what they think. It's what I think. You know what I mean? And it's what I know. You understand what I'm saying? And my suggestion to any and everybody is take inventory on self before judging people. Because again, when you feel love, and you're going to know what love feels like, you're going to love other people. You know, and you're going to keep your heart open for that. You know what I mean? Instead of always going to the worst of everything. Even though you show the crazy shit that you've been showing. You know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah. But you're finding yourself. You have to find yourself and come to love yourself, nephew. And I see that you are reaching out for that. So I know we've been on here for a long time, y'all, and we had the technical difficulties. A lot of you made it back on, but also a lot of you didn't. So I hope you can see the replay of both, you know, parts to this, because I'm going to call it part 1 and part 2, baby. You follow what I'm saying? You know, and I don't care if it's just the people that I see on here, guess what? It was a great show. It was a good live, and it was worthy to be on here sitting with my nephew. And Miss Frida Burton, she said again, I see mines too. Therapist is great. Just got to get the right one. That's it. Absolutely, Frida. Absolutely. It's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I think that's the best thing that we can do. You know what I mean? You lost your loved one. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you lost your son as well. You know what I mean? So people who lost somebody can understand, basically, but can't tell you how to mourn. At all. You know what I mean? You know, we all mourn differently. We all deal with things differently. Hey, Rosetta, how are you? We all do things, you know, and feel things differently. And some are stronger than others. You know what I mean? And some are weaker than others. You know what I mean? But if you don't talk about it and you don't strive for the greatness of you, you know what I mean? You're going to shrink in this shit. You're going to go down and you're not going to go up. You know what I mean? So being unbalanced is okay, but you got to get the right things that you need to help you fix that so you can become balanced. You follow what I'm saying?
That's it.
And again, people going to look at you for the things that you did, but change is constant.
Of course.
And there's nothing constant but change. And don't allow people, I don't care who the people is, don't allow people to get in the way of your change and your honesty.
Of course.
Okay?
Of course. Yeah.
I love you, Neff.
I love you too, Auntie.
Absolutely. And, you know, we can have these kind of conversations all the time. You know, I love talking and stuff. I swear I'm the talkingest person in the world, but that's okay. That's what I love doing, and that's my walk from my higher power. You follow what I'm saying? He gave me a walk, and I'm walking it. You feel what I'm saying? And anybody that wants to come on the couch and sit down and conversate, you know, and talk about some things, and we feel, you know, like we all are family and love and trust, you know, and dealing with honesty. Hey, that's what it's for. It's just an open platform for all of us. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about nobody. I'm talking to you. You know what I mean? And with you. You know what I'm saying? And hearing you and listening, you know, and whatever I can say and I can do in any of these type of platforms that we have on here, that's what I'll do. I'm not going to outdo myself like I'm a doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief, because I'm not any of that. I only talk my experiences and my hopes and, you know, my opinions or whatever about whatever. And if it's something that I can't say that's not going to help somebody, my mouth is closed. You know what I mean? And I will recommend the proper help that anybody can use. So I know we've been on here a little extra long, and that's what he needed. That's what, you know, I felt I could stay on till tomorrow if it was up to me. You know what I mean? But I appreciate all of you, as I do every week, every day. I pray for everybody, so keep praying for me, you know, and let's keep praying for each other. You know what I mean? I know that this thing broke up twice. It wasn't nothing but the devil, you know what I mean? But we still got it in, you know what I mean? And I was still giving him the time that he needed, you know, to feel comfortable, feel love, and share, you know, and break through with some of his emotions. And it ain't gonna be all of them, but it was some of them, and it's a start, you know, first thing first, and what we have to do. So again, nephew, you know your family loves you, you know what I mean, and you have a fight, a war, you know, with the devil, and know that your mother is so freaking proud of you right now. You hear what I'm saying? She is so freaking proud of you right now, because she know how we work as a family. But communication has to be done. It has to be there. You know what I mean? And no judging. You know? So again, all of us is growing.
That's all.
Every last one of us, all of us is trying to, you know, still bear with the loss of Lena. You know, so I love you, Neff. I want you to get
too,
yourself
Auntie.
together. Hey, everybody, look, share this post. Share the first one too, because that's part one. You know what I mean? Just put that share button and share this thing, and somebody might watch this and feel and get something out of it too. You know, hopefully next week I got a guest for y'all next week. Don't be shocked when you see who it is, you know what I mean? But I know it's going to be great. I don't care what type of technical difficulties come through. Every guest is great. Every last one of you. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Don't forget, share this.
Yeah,
okay?
Make sure you subscribe.
And if you want to come on, go straight to my messenger, because I'm waiting for y'all, because they coming, y'all. They coming. Okay? That is God's will.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to, of course, Tracy Allen Living in My Truth. Just press the subscribe button one time.
Go ahead, Frank, because y'all know how to talk this kind of talk. You know, I swear I'll be doing it, but there's a lot of things I don't say how y'all get that word out. All right, so I'll see you guys next week. All right, thank you, love everybody.